So welcome back. We were on the sorting task, so we stopped at trying to find out the length of the user's input. So when the user entered anything greater than one, it should like true should run. Our program should continue. But when the user entered anything like one or less than one, it should our program should end. Now they have so many algorithms that you can use to achieve this. So this is my okay. You can see another. You can create your own algorithm, okay, to achieve that same result. So it's not always like this is the only way. No, this is not the only way. Okay, so now the next one is we are going to create another decision diagram that we are going to ask if the first number, or even though let us simplify this. Now let's just say condition here. We are not writing code here. Assuming we are writing code, then I will start using if, for, and all those things, but we are not writing code. So we are writing a flowchart. So flowchart should be less code and more of images. Do you get? So now this condition here, now we are going to say condition. Now the condition is if the first number, if num1 is greater than num2, if it is true, then it should go and save. If it is true, it should create. No, this is not what I want. If it is true, it should store the one that is greater, or the one that is less than, because we want to sort. So this is number one. This 5 is number one. So 3 is number 2, 4 is number 3, 2 is number 4, and 1 is number 5. So if num1 is greater than num2, so we want to save it inside a temp file. So what are we going to save? We are going to save 2, because this num1 is greater than num2, so this 5 is greater than 3, so we now shift 3 in front of 5. So this is what is happening here. This guy, now we are shifting 3 to be in front of 5. Okay, now in a real life this is supposed to be in array. Okay, this is supposed to work in array data type. So but in flowchart, let's just use diagram to design how it's going to work, the actual implementation. So when this condition num1 is greater than num2, so the num2 which is less than num1 should save. Now true, that means we need a true test here. We need a true test. So true. So this one is true. Then here is false. That means, so it doesn't mean that down here is always true or down here is always false, at the right hand side is always false. Depending on how you want your program to flow, that is what will determine where your true or false is going to be. So but my own, for this one, I said let the true come here. True is always at the, okay, I don't even label these ones. Okay, this one doesn't need true. Okay, true is always there in even the previous project that I did. True are always at the down and false are here, but here I want to like show you guys that true can always be like this also, and false can be at the downside. So anyhow you want to do it. I'm having a hard time positioning this. Hey, my false is not even correct. Okay, let's just leave it like this. Now false should be FALS. Okay, LS. So now if this guy is false, if number one is actually greater than number two, definitely you will like to save them. Them is going to be number one. Okay, now what is going to happen here is this is going to loop back. Where is it? Okay, where is this arrow? There's another arrow. So let's loop this guy back here. So we bring this arrow key here, arrow directional connector. Okay, we put it here, or should we even no? This guy should go. Okay, now take this guy. No, drag, position it. Make it to be in the center. I don't know what is wrong with my mouse. I don't know what is wrong with my mouse today. Okay, let's just leave it like this. Then you get another one. Come on, drag yourself out of that place now. Where is this arrow key? Line. I need a line. Okay, so I place it here. I make it straight. Then I need this arrow key. Then I place it here. I make it here. So this is what is going to be happening. So if this condition is either number one is greater than number two, if it's false, then number one should be the smallest. Okay, then it will go back and check another number one and number two, because this guy has been, this first one, this 5 has been taken off of the of the line. Okay, if it is false. But if number one is greater than number two, that means this 3 has been taken off. Okay, so the next loop is going to check 5 and 4. Why? Because 5, the previous check, that is the first check, was number one is greater than number two. So number one is 5 and number two is 3. So if number one is greater, if 5 is greater than 3, which is true, so it will take the number 2, which is what is it called, 3. So 3 is going to disappear from the line. So the remaining numbers will be 5, 4, 2 1. So it will come back here and check if actually that um actually 5 is greater than 4 again. If 5 is greater than 4, which is true, okay, so the 4 will be taken out of the equation and stored here. Okay, so then it will now go back. I will still draw a what is it called, an arrow that takes you back to this guy. Okay, so now we are now left with 5 2 1. Now it will now check again if number 1, which is still that 5, okay, is whether it is greater than number 2. Now this number 2 now is going to be 2, okay, because 3 and 4 has been taken out. So yes, 5, which is number 1, is greater than number 2. So 2 will be taken out and stored into this temp. Okay, so now 3 4 5 and 3 4 2 has been taken out, so the remaining numbers are 5 and 1. So we loop back again. It will say, okay, if this condition, number 1 is greater than number 2, if it is true, then that means this 1 has been, has been now, this 5 is greater than this 1, so it's going to store the temp here. Now this is going to go on and on and on and on until we have 1 at the front, 2 at second to 1, 3 third on the line, 4 until we get a sorted number. So now to show you guys that this guy will be looping until this condition is, what is wrong, until this condition is met, is okay. Let me copy this and paste this. Okay, so I have to rotate this guy. So this is how it is. Okay, when the condition is true, which is this arrow going into this temp equals to num2, okay, so it will return back to the condition. When it is true, it will go back to temp, it will store the value into the temp, then go back again. That is how it should be going until we have a very sorted algorithm, okay, a very sorted number. Now this may not be the best way to write this, but this is one of the ways you can write it. Okay, so then the next one is when everything is sorted, like when everything is okay. I think, yeah, we should like print it out. We should print the numbers out using this diagram here. So we are printing it out. Then we now print temp. Okay, now temp will store all the sorted numbers. Okay, temp will store all the sorted numbers, but in real programming, this is not how to do it. But the way in which you will do it, the procedure, like step by step, is this flow chart, just like this. Okay, so that is it. After printing it out, the next one for you to do is to call an end to the program. You are calling it an end, like you are ending the program. You are done with the sorting is fine, and we are good to go. So you just say end of the program. Okay, so this is the flow chart. A quick recap: we start the program, we ask user to input values, numbers randomly. Okay, we check if it is we save the unsorted numbers. Okay, then we now check if the numbers that the user entered there is greater than 1, so that if it is greater than 1, that means they entered about 2 numbers. Okay, which is good for sorting. Now if it is false, the program will end. But if it is true, that means they entered more than 2 numbers. Then the condition of those 2 numbers, okay, whether 9 is greater than 2, greater than 2. Do you get? So if 9 is greater than 2, that means 2 is less than 9. Do you get? So the 2 will be stored here. Okay, if it goes back and check that nothing again, 9 is not going to compare itself with any other number, so it will just carry the 9. Do you get? And puts into temp. So your temp is going to be printed 29. Do you get? So when your temp is printed 29, that means it is sorted, then the program will end. So if you have any question or what, or any other thing that's contribution to this, just message me. Okay, so please don't forget to subscribe, like, share. Okay, thank you very much.